Hi, I am June. I would like to call this channel June Heals. This is an intro to kind of what I'm hoping to do on here as far as content goes. Just as the channel name says, June Heals. I'm here to experience some sort of healing. I have struggled with depression and PTSD most of my life. Um, I usually I usually try to hide. Um, it's very difficult for me. I usually try to hide, and I I have repressed a lot of things, and I've never felt like I really had the space to share my experiences. Um, and so I'm kind of hoping to be able to do that on here. Uh, yeah, so I'm here to get out of my own way, here to share my story, and I just really want to create a space to share some of the things that I wish I had heard growing up, and just things that I wish that I knew growing up. And I feel like that there are people out there just like me, people who are experiencing very similar things as what I've experienced. And I feel like a lot of people don't really have the space to share and to talk about the things that they've experienced. I want to share my experience as a black woman. Um, I've had a lot of anxiety even starting this channel. Um, a lot of it has to do with my lack of self worth, me trying to hide myself for most of my life, um, me really feeling like I don't have anything to contribute to anyone or anything. I'm grateful enough to have found some people that are helping me to see that a little differently, helping to see myself a little bit differently. But in order to heal, there's a lot of internal work that needs to be done. Um, I guess I'm gonna start this with like a little bit of a story time. A couple of days ago, I went on a walk because I'm trying to lose weight. You will find that weight loss is going to be a big portion of this channel for me. I will share my struggle with it. I will share how um, I've struggled with it through my childhood, um, things that I experienced that contributed to my struggle. Um, so, yeah, I was on a walk, and I'm making a plan in my head. Yeah, I'm gonna start off with walking again, and then I'm gonna start to jog, because I really want to lose this weight and I have to get active, and I don't want to be a slave to the scale, and um, and just a bunch of other negative things started going through my mind as it comes to weight loss and looking a certain type of way. But anyway, as I was walking, I started thinking, oh my goodness, something terrible could happen to me on this walk. Um, and then for whatever reason, I started reciting Our Father. So, I was like, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. And I just kept thinking, okay, so if I get, if like cops pull up on me, this is what I'm gonna say. And I was like, well, that may or may not help at all. But regardless, I'm still playing it in my mind. So I keep walking, and then I notice that somebody's following me. And I don't really think anything of it at first because I'm like, well, probably we just probably happen to be walking in the same direction. But then it just seemed like if I stopped, they also stopped. Um, if I crossed over, then they would also cross over, and like really weird areas to cross over. But I was doing it to kind of keep myself safe and kind of create that distance. And then I start getting really anxious, and I'm just like, okay, so now I'm walking through this park, and then I like walk halfway through this little walkway in the middle of the park, and they stop at the end, and they're just kind of like staring. And then the next thing I know, this car like swerves, and then I she's like, "Are you okay?" There's a woman in the car. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay." She's like, "Yeah, because that guy's like, I just noticed him following, and he's looking at you in like a weird way." And I was like, "Yeah, I noticed too. That's why I don't have my headphones on, so I can kind of hear if anybody's um coming a little too close." And then I think she asked me if I wanted a ride. I don't fully remember. I wouldn't have taken the ride because I feel like you escape one terrible situation, then you end up in another terrible situation. So I was like, "No, I'm okay, but thank you so much for checking up on me." I really appreciated that. Because I experienced a lot of anxiety, and someone might be like, "Well, there's nothing to say that something was going to happen, but there's nothing to say that something wouldn't have happened." I feel like I've had enough experiences where terrible things have happened to me. Um, and yeah, those things, they kind of just started flashing back into my mind. Experiences that I had as a little girl, walking to school, or excuse me, walking from school, and I passed this furniture store, and the guy was like, "Yeah, do you want to come look at a mattress? I have mattresses that I'm trying to sell." And I'm a kid. Why would I be buying a mattress? So, in that situation, it was clearly a man that was trying to take advantage of um, a child's innocence and curiosity. Because what if I was a kid that was just like, "Yeah, mattresses, like I'd love to see some mattresses," just because I'm a kid and I'm curious. um, so I'm glad that I just kind of sped up and I kept walking. And then I had another very similar experience walking home from school, and this older man was like walking behind me, kind of catcalling me, saying very inappropriate things to me, saying things like, "So young and innocent and sweet." And I remember other things that were said, but I'm not going to get into those details. But, and it's sad. It's sad that, as a child, I had to experience that. And it's sad that as an adult that I can't take a walk without being afraid, not just because I'm black, but also because I'm a woman. Um, and so that experience just really, I just started playing scenarios in my head where no matter how no matter how it happened, someone would turn it into a situation of, well, how can we blame her? Like, well, what were you doing? Or what were you wearing? Or what'd you say? Or were you looking at them a certain way? Did you give them the okay to kind of, approach you? And it's sad. It's sad that that's the world that we live in. It's sad that things happen to us that we can't even really share with anybody because somehow we're the problem. Somehow we're to blame for these things that happen to us. Um, I told myself when I started this channel that I didn't want to really be too in people's faces with my trauma, but I feel like it would be counterproductive to the purpose of this channel as far as having this space where I can kind of talk about my experiences and allow other people to feel comfortable to share their experiences too. Um, yeah, I've had a lot of terrible things happen to me, a lot of abuse, nothing that I've ever really been able to talk about, nothing that I've ever really been able to heal from. Um, and it's had such a significant impact on my life and my ability to cultivate healthy relationships. And I want that to change. Um, yeah, I really want that to change. It's so interesting because the way that I'm recording this video, um, I'm doing a little bit at a time. And so after I record a little bit, I'll go back and I'll watch it, and I'm listening to myself and I'm looking at my face, and I am feeling a transformation, so to speak, because I feel like we go through things and then we are told that we have to be strong and we have to be tough and we had to get over it, right? Move on. It happened in the past. And I feel like in the moment of just kind of watching that video, I was able to just accept myself in that moment, where I'm at in that moment, in this moment. And that's a really big part of what I want to do with this channel. I want to be able to look at myself and in understanding that, yes, there are changes that I want to make, but also looking at myself and saying, you're deserving of love, and you're deserving of peace, and you're deserving of joy, and you're not less than for your experiences. And that is so freeing. And that is something that I want for everybody that comes across this channel, is to be gentle with themselves, to find that child within themselves that maybe needs a little bit of healing, that maybe needs a little bit of recognition that they have not received. And yeah, I just thought that that was like really interesting. And yeah, we're gonna keep moving. So I do plan, I think the next video I'm gonna do is going to be on stages of change. And I'm gonna let you guys know right now, I can get pretty weird, but I hope that this journey will be an enlightening one for the both of us. Well, for all of us. Hopefully I'll get more than one viewer. But even if I just get one viewer and it's enlightening for them too, that'd be great. Yeah, again, I'm June. This is June Heals, and thank you for watching.